Chances are, if you're watching this, you're probably debating on going and seeing The Black Phone, and I want to help you make that sound decision by reviewing the movie for you so you can spend your money on a worthy cause, which is darn good entertainment. So I'm going to tell you right away, The Black Phone, I think it's worth seeing. Now, if that's all you needed, I beg you do, go have a great time at the movies. However, if you want to hear my full thoughts on the movie, feel free to stick around to the very end. I think there will be some stuff that you'll want to hear. So in this video, I'll break down what the movie's about, what I didn't like so much about it, what I really enjoyed about it, and in the end, I'll give you an overall score. So what's The Black Phone about? The Black Phone is a movie about this kid named Finney. Finney and his sister are in grade school. They're growing up. However, they're really scared of the Grabber. The Grabber is a figure who's been terrorizing the town and has kidnapped 5 children so far. And although Finney doesn't want to be his next victim, he ends up being that very said thing. The Grabber, played by Ethan Hawke, kidnaps Finney, brings him to his basement, and now Finney is in deep trouble and he's got to get out of the situation. And that's about it in a nutshell. So what did I really enjoy about The Black Phone? This movie has very little downside. I've had a chance to marinate on this one for a few days now, and there's just very little I can find that I don't like with it. Pacing was quite good. The hour and 42 minutes flies by. All the character performances were quite excellent. Some were better than others. Of course, you've got your standouts. Aside from some of the acting and some nitpicks, there's just very little downside to be had in this film, making for a lot of upside, making for really great watching. The Black Phone takes a new concept in the thriller space and really lands it quite well. It's pretty rare for a movie like this to go ahead and add a new spin on things successfully, but The Black Phone really makes it work. That new spin is the fact that Finney is going to be using the knowledge from the past victims of the Grabber in order to help him escape. He's got to use that knowledge to kind of piece things together, try different things, and solve the puzzle that is escaping this creepy guy's house. It's not something that I've seen done in thriller films before. I'm really glad they did it here, and they did a great job of executing it. I think the space was ripe for something new. This was the time for it, and I was really happy that this movie managed to pull it off. And to make things even better, they make it all digestible, they don't make it confusing, and they make it pretty darn entertaining. Additionally, I really enjoyed the dynamic between Finney and his sister Gwen, who's played by Madeleine McGraw. For these being kid actors, I thought they did a great job, and I'd say pretty much carried this movie along with Ethan Hawke, and they did so very, very well. You really bought into the dynamic relationship that they had between one another, and it gets to the point where you think that they could actually be twins. And even moreover, they're not actually twins in the film, but it feels like they are. You can just truly feel the bond between them. And I'd say Madeleine McGraw is the better half in that equation, but she really does a solid job in this movie. And the movie does kind of center around each of them, even though they're separated for most of it. You've got Finney, who's trying to escape from the Grabber's clutches in the basement. Then you've got Gwen, who's trying to piece together things on her own side because she's got this supernatural element to her that she thinks she can use to help Finney, which adds another unique dimension to the movie that is very familiar in beat, but very different in execution. I think this movie just has a lot of different, unique, new things to offer, and the way that Finney and Gwen carry that out is really what makes this movie special. And a lot of that is in thanks to Madeleine McGraw's performance, because she was excellent. And of course, Ethan Hawke, great as always. He plays as the Grabber in this movie. Of course, you've seen him all over the marketing, the posters. Heck, he's right there. And as the main antagonist in a role that he's not really too familiar with, he does an excellent job in showing off his acting chops, especially because of the fact that you really don't see most of his face throughout the entire movie. In fact, if I had to aggregate a percentage of time where you saw his entire face, it's probably 5% of the time that he's on screen. And that poses new challenges for actors because a lot of your acting can come from facial expression and getting people to believe who you actually say you are. But it didn't matter because Ethan Hawke crushed the role even with that hindrance, and I thought he did a great job, and this was a great challenge for him. And he is just one creepy SOB in this movie because this Grabber guy, let me tell you, it's something fierce. Just think of the creepiest serial killer you've ever imagined in your life. That's Ethan Hawke in this movie. He does a great job in doing that. What did I not like so much about The Black Phone? This isn't a critique of the film itself, but it's more of a warning to all of you. This is not a horror film. I know in a lot of the marketing, some of you might have got that interpretation. I know I did, but this really isn't a scary movie per se. This much trends on the line of a thriller than a horror film. So for those of you going in expecting to be scared out of your minds, you'll probably be disappointed, but go in expecting a thriller and I think you'll have an excellent time with it. Now, I thought the addition of James Ransone's character was pretty pointless by the time the movie ended. If you cut that character out of the film, I don't think the film would have been missing anything. Aside from some brief comic relief, he just didn't really offer a lot to the movie. Additionally, I thought the script had kind of betrayed itself. At the very beginning of this film, obviously you establish our characters, what they're capable of, what they're like, who they are. They go through their trials, their tribulations, they become different people by the time the movie ends. And so by the end of the film, these characters probably do things that they wouldn't have done at the beginning of the film. But I think the movie's script takes that one step too far with one of the characters to the point where it really compromise the believability of said character for me. Do I think they were changed? Absolutely by the time the movie ended. Do I think they were capable of doing what the script had them do? I don't think so. Then again, I've never been in that situation myself, so I don't know for sure. Like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. So friends, in the end, I'm gonna have to give The Black Phone an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty excellent time, and it's worth seeing twice. It just offers something different, unique in the thriller space, which we haven't seen in quite a while. Friends, thank you so much for watching another movie review. If you thought that this was helpful or valuable to you, I'd be honored if you consider clicking the like button so people just like you are able to find it. Or if you like movie reviews just like this, feel free to click these end cards or the links down in the description below for your viewing pleasure. Once again, this has been the Bankrupt Hippo YouTube channel. I've been Bryce, and until next time, have a great day.